Okay, we're going to do 4 listening maps in a row to get you some really good practice with listening maps and see what all of these have in common, what skills you need to learn. So the first one is from Cambridge 12, Test 4. They call it Test 8 in the book, but it's the last one in the book. Section 2, of course, that's all the maps for Section 2. Cambridge 11, Test 1, Cambridge 11, Test 2, and Cambridge 11, Test 4. So, go and try and do them yourself before, it would be best. I've added these documents to the Patreon website. If you're a patron, you'll have this document and the audio. But if you're not a patron, it's not a problem. You can go and find these. You should have Cambridge 11 and 12 anyway. Alright, so probably best for you to go and do them first and then come back to the video. Right, so let's just get started then.
Before you hear the rest of the podcast, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
Okay, I'm just going to pause it there to tell you what you should be doing. In this little 30 seconds, don't go through this. You don't need to look at that yet. You can, oh, that's a spelling mistake. You can do these one by one. You can read them one by one as they come up in the test. In this 30 seconds, you want to be familiarizing yourself with the map. So you want to see, here's Crawley Road, Station Square, Public Gardens, Hill Road, City Road, Bank. And then look at this. If they have this means he's probably going to talk about north, west, northeast, west, south. They don't often have them. A lot of the time they don't have them, and then they usually talk about left and right. But this one he'll talk about left and right, but he'll probably also talk about north, south, east, west. If you have a problem, I think people don't have a problem with north and south, but maybe you want to just write E-A-S-T there, W-E-S-T there, so you can see it, so that you can think quickly and see it quickly to know which way he's talking about. Okay, but take note of this, it's important. Right, let's just continue. So we've got Crawley Road at the bottom there. Oh, let me pause again. Usually they start somewhere at the bottom, or maybe sometimes somewhere on the left. But it's important to know where he starts off. If we look at these other maps, you are here, so it's starting somewhere at the bottom. Entrance is here at the bottom, so that's probably where they'll start. And this one probably will start at the bottom here at the stairs. But just be aware of that, of where he's going to start. Okay, so you're busy reading Hill Road. Notice that Hill Road, this is also Hill Road. And it bends over here. We don't know what this road is called. But this is also Hill Road. City Road, Crawley Road, Public Gardens.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
The sheep market is one of the main centres for art and history in the whole of the country. If you look at our map, you'll see some of the main attractions there.
So now you want to quickly take a look and see what are we listening for. We're listening for the Reynolds House.
Most visitors start from Crawley Road at the bottom of the map. The Reynolds House is one of the oldest houses in the city and is
There's our keyword.
open to the public. It's on the north side of Crawley Road, next to the footpath that leads to the public gardens. The area is particularly interesting.
Right, so this is the north side of Crawley Road, this is the south side of Crawley Road. Next to the footpath, there's the footpath that leads to the public gardens. So it's next to that footpath. It's not next to the public gardens, it's next to the footpath that leads to the public gardens. So our first answer is H.
For its unusual sculptures.
What's next? The thumb.
The thumb is just what its name suggests, but it's about 10 metres high. You'll see it on Hill Road, across the road from the bank. The museum's got
On Hill Road, remember this is also Hill Road, across the road from the bank. So C is the thumb. You need to know all of these prepositions like across and opposite and all of that for maps.
a particularly fine collection of New Zealand landscapes.
What do we want here? The museum. I'm going to have to go back a bit.
Particularly interesting for its unusual sculptures. The thumb is just what its name suggests, but it's about 10 metres high. You'll see it on Hill Road, across the road from the bank. The museum's got a particularly fine collection of New Zealand landscapes.
Okay, there he mentioned the museum. One thing I also want to say, you should, once you've found it, cross it off, put a line through it, put a line through H, put a line through C, so that it doesn't distract you later. So we're on the museum now.
It's on the east side of the sheep market on City Road.
It's on the east side of the sheep market on City Road. There's City Road. This is on the east side. I think this whole thing is the sheep market. So this is the east side. Listen again.
It's the road from the bank. The museum's got a particularly fine collection of New Zealand landscapes. It's on the east side of the sheep market on City Road.
So you can see north, west, south, east, very important for this map.
It's on the other side of the road from the public gardens, immediately facing the junction with Hill Road.
Wow. It's on the other side of the road from the public gardens, other side of City Road. Here they said across the road, here they said the other side of the road, facing the junction. You should know this vocabulary, junction or intersection, for when two roads meet. Junction, intersection. Good, what's next? Contemporary Art Gallery. Anyway, so this was F. Contemporary Art Gallery.
The Contemporary Art Gallery is on a little road that leads off Station Square, not far from the public gardens. The road ends at the gallery. It doesn't go anywhere else. That's open every day.
Doesn't say much, quite difficult. It's on a little road that leads from Station Square. The road ends, doesn't go anywhere. So it must be, the gallery must be G. A little road that leads from Station Square. That's all they gave you.
Except Mondays. The Warner Gallery specialises in 19th century art. It's on City Road, near the junction with Crawley Road, on the same side of the road as the public gardens.
It's on City Road, near the junction with Crawley Road, on the same side of the road as the public gardens. So it must be I. So there you needed to know. City Road, junction, Crawley Road, same side of the road as public gardens.
It's open on weekdays from 9 to 5 and entry is free. Finally, if you're interested in purchasing high-quality artwork, the place to go is Nucleus. You need to go from Crawley Road up through Station Square and east along Hill Road until you get to a small winding road turning off. Go up there and it's on your right. If you get to City Road, you've gone too far.
Super difficult. Go up through Station Square, along Hill Road until you get to a small windy road, and then it's on your right. Listen again.
If you're interested in purchasing high-quality artwork, the place to go is Nucleus. You need to go from Crawley Road up
through Station Square to Hill Road,
up through Station Square and east along Hill Road, until you get to a small winding road turning off.
It could be that one or it could be that one, but this one is not winding, this one is straight. So it must be this one.
Go up there and it's on your right.
Go up there. Often we use up and down for north and south. So this one, he would say go up there. If he wanted to go on this road, he would say go down there. And it's on your right. So that must be B. That one was very difficult. Great. Let's move on.
If you get to City Road, you've gone too far.
That is the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 15 to 20.
So, you're looking at the map, don't look at the questions. What have we got? You're going to start over here by the new barn. This is a road, this is main path, car park over here. Fish pool over there, side path over there, main path, main path, main path, farmyard, footpath, another road. So, new barn, main path, car park, side path, fish pool, main path.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
Now let me give you some idea of the layout of the farm. The building where you bought your tickets is the new barn immediately to your right. And we're now at the beginning of the main path to the farmland. And of course, the car park is on your left. The scarecrow you can see in the car park in the corner beside the main path.
Sorry, of course you should have checked now. You're listening for scarecrow, so I'll just do that again.
Farmland. And of course, the car park is on your left. The scarecrow you can see in the car park in the corner beside the main path is a traditional figure for keeping the birds away from crops.
So he said the scarecrow is in the car park in the corner beside the main path. This is not the main path, so don't go for that one. It's in the corner of the car park. Listen again.
Farmland. And of course, the car park is on your left. The scarecrow you can see in the car park in the corner beside the main path is a traditional figure
In the car park in the corner. Good. What's next? Maze.
for keeping the birds away from crops. But our scarecrow is a permanent sculpture. It's taller than a human being, so you can see it from quite a distance. If you look ahead of you, you'll see a maze. It's opposite the new barn.
If you look ahead of you, so that's somewhere over here, because we're looking ahead. This would be backward. This is up, forward, north, ahead. And he said it's opposite the new barn. You're going to see the maze opposite the new barn.
Away from crops. But our scarecrow is a permanent sculpture. It's taller than a human being, so you can see it from quite a distance. If you look ahead of you, you'll see a maze. It's opposite the new barn, beside the side path that branches off to the right.
Beside the side path that branches off to the right. But all you needed to know was opposite the new barn. Remember, in this map over here, they said across the road from. Here they said on the other side of. And here's another way of saying it is opposite. Across the road on the other side of the side path. So new barn is G. Maze is G. Car park, scarecrow is F. Great. Now we're listening for cafe.
Just over there. The maze is made out of hedges which are too tall for young children to see over them, but it's quite small, so you can't get lost in it. Now, can you see the bridge crossing the fish pool further up the main path? If you want to go to the cafe, go towards the bridge and turn right just before it. Walk along the side path and the cafe's on the first bend you come to.
Right. So he mentioned cafe. He said, can you see the bridge by the fish pool? If you want to go to the cafe, it's just before the bridge. Go along the main path, turn right along the side path, and it's on the bend. Bend is an important word. He mentioned this, we call it a bend in the road. So that must be D, the cafe.
The building was originally the schoolhouse, and it's well over 100 years old. As you may know...
Sorry, what's next? Black barn.
We run skills workshops here, where you can learn traditional crafts like woodwork and basket making. You can see examples of the work and talk to someone about the courses in the Black Barn. If you take the side path to the right, here, just by the new barn, you'll come to the Black Barn, just where the path first bends. Now,
Same thing. So it's just where the path first bends. Here he said it's on the bend. So you must go right along the side path. Just where the path first bends is H. So that H is the black barn.
Mustn't forget to tell you about picnicking, as I can see some of you have brought your lunch with you. You can picnic in the field, though do clear up behind you, of course. Or if you'd prefer a covered picnic area, there's one near the farmyard, just after you cross the bridge. There's a covered picnic spot on the right.
Okay, they try and trick you with B. A covered picnic area is near the farmyard, just after you cross the bridge, but it's not on the left, it's on the right. So the covered picnic area must be C. On the left, on the right is super important.
And the last thing to mention is Fiddy House itself. From here you can cross the bridge, then walk along the footpath through the field to the left of the farmyard. That goes to the house, and it'll give you a lovely view of it.
Right, so this is obviously a house. You can see this looks like a roof with roof tiles on it. So this is obviously Fiddy House. He mentions the footpath, so you have to go across the bridge along the footpath, and that's the only one that it can be there. Make sure that you have crossed them out. Delete F, delete G, delete D, delete H, delete C, and then of course this would be the only option. That one was a bit tricky. Let's quickly listen again.
Just after you cross the bridge, there's a covered picnic spot on the right. And the last thing to mention is Fiddy House itself. From here you can cross the bridge, then walk along the footpath through the field to the left of the farmyard.
Cross the bridge, walk along the footpath through the field to the left of the farmyard. Here's the farmyard, so the footpath is to the left of the farmyard.
That goes to the house, and it'll give you a lovely view of it. It's certainly worth a few photographs, but as it's a private home, I'm afraid you can't go inside.
So you can go and look at the house, but you can't go inside. There's a fence here. It's a private home. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there, and otherwise this video will be too long. And then we'll do the next two in the next video.